Now I would like to yield the floor to a special guest of the BISMUN conference, His Excellency, the Ambassador of the Russian Federation, Mr. Oleg Malghinov.
Dear friends, for me it's actually a big honor to address such an audience of young people who are interested in the United Nations, its mechanism, its discussions, and so on. And this, my attitude based on personal experience. I joined foreign service in 1979, and after 6 years, I joined the department which was doing United Nations and especially human rights. And for these 26 years, so many times, there were skeptics that were saying that United Nations is dying, that we need something else, that we need other forums in order to make global decisions. Irrespective of this, some states and countries have disappeared. A lot of new countries appeared and became members of the United Nations. And the organization survived. The organization got strength and got more influence on various issues. Yes, the organization needs reform. Yes, the organization needs to face new challenges and problems. Yes, we must debureaucratize the organization. But the main achievement of the United Nations is that for the last almost 70 years, it was a factor which prevented small crises into transforming into the global crisis. The organization that established and preserved international law, the organization that invented and put into practice not only concepts, but also the instruments and procedures for the solution of global problems. For us, and I'm speaking now on behalf of the Russian Federation, the organization is very important because it is based on the core principles which may govern the international relations as a whole. First of all, this is a collective approach, the collective decision making. That is very important because it is precisely the collective decision making that makes these decisions legitimate. Another thing, this is the interstate body. Of course, during the last year, the participation of the civil society, of other actors, businesses, is very important. But nevertheless, it is intergovernmental body, interstate body, which means the decision taken is a decision taken by the actors that are responsible for their implementation together with all other participants in the global relations. And this responsibility is the main feature that makes the United Nations to survive. And that is one more principle that is very important, is the equal rights of all the member states of the United Nations. And this means that if it is necessary to have dialogue, to take into consideration the points of view of all members of the United Nations in order to take a decision which will be viable and which will work. That is more important also that the United Nations is the keeper of the international law, the principles that are the basis of international relations. And it is unwise to try to undermine these basic principles that guarantee the existence and developing of our global society. That is sovereignty of nations, equality of nations, peaceful decision of disputes, refusal from force in international relations, no interference in internal affairs, and implementation of obligations. Of course, new challenges, new problems means the development of international law. It also requires the search for new solutions to new challenges. And the challenges are dissemination of weapons of mass destruction, regional and internal conflicts, combating terrorism, combating of international organized crime, fighting narcotic drugs, ecology, diseases, and so on and so forth. This list is very long. And one of the two which may bring an answer is the approach based on the concept of human security. I remember my talk in 1994 with then High Commissioner for Refugees, Mrs. Sadako Agata. She actually was one of the persons who was behind this process. Actually, she was very proud because she was a member of the Parliament Commission that first officially put the concept of human security into international agenda. And we discussed how this can be implemented into the real policy. Well, till now, this concept of human security is still under discussion by various bodies, by various committees of the United Nations. And there are a lot of progress, but also a lot of questions. And maybe during your discussions here, you may also touch this. For example, what is the relations between human security and security of state? What is, therefore, the relations between soft security measures and hard security measures? What is the relations between security of human security, security of state, and security of the society or security of the community? Because no individual is free from society. Of course, human security, human rights, international humanitarian law, and all other issues related to this, what is the relation between this? For us, again, it is not so easy to see the implementation of certain aspects of human security, for example, in the concept of humanitarian intervention, or unlimited implementation of the concept of responsibility to protect. These are all related issues, and we think this may be interesting for you young people to touch on this from various points of view. Our approach is that the main solution to the modern, rather complicated problems of the world is the collective approach. And that collective approach, based on balancing of will and based on international law, is the key to find very viable, long-standing solutions. Not to impose on this or that country the issues related to internal affairs, but to look, to search for joint solutions of the problems together with all parties concerned. There are many questions we will discuss. I'm really happy that these discussions are going on in Bucharest, which became my also city just not long ago, 1 month ago. And I will be very pleased to read what may be the results of the discussion. I wish you all the best. I hope that it will bring a new generation of diplomats to the foreign ministries of many countries that will take the relay from us in the near future, and they will contribute to the strengthening of the United Nations. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for the wonderful speech.